Sí.
It's nice to know the microphone problems are an international phenomenon.
Hola, vull preguntar-li si el partit independentista que hi ha actualment a Escòcia és l'únic, és una coalició o hi ha altres partits també independents?
We are one party. There is one party of independence in Scotland. We have walked that ladder of unity, and that, I think, came together at that point in time. But this has made a big difference. And I think what has been wonderful is that we had, in the early stage between 1999 and 2003, some little internal difficulties, some jockeying for position. We lost a very good leader because of that. But since 2007, since 2003, we have been really tight, really cohesive, collaborative, focused, and focused on the big prize. I think talking this language of the altruistic worldly goal is very hard to deviate from an altruistic worldly goal. And that altruistic worldly goal is to get our country back and to improve the conditions of everyone in Scotland. Some goal.
Well, I take the advantage of having written my hands. First of all, thank you for being here. It has been a pleasure. Mr. Magna, I would like to ask you, is it true that among your people there is no battling, struggling, kicking, shooting for being the first one who's been appearing in the photos?
Well, I think the interesting thing about that is that we have something really quite interesting in Scotland. Here we have an agenda that looks to achieve total constitutional change, to create a separate country. No bombs, no bullets, no assassinations, no civil war. And I think we need to give credit to the UK that they might not have been as enthusiastic as we've been about the proposition, but they are party to it being operated on this basis. I think we should be talking more about it. I think we should be getting it to a high level of awareness in other countries. I think in terms of managing foreign policy in the long term, it makes enormous sense. Rather than trying to impose regime change on countries, help them have a conversation that moves them forward and accelerates the process. I think that what we're doing is great, but you get a better awareness of it when you come out of Scotland. We're too close to it back home. But I think that this example is one that we can be genuinely proud of, and we can make contagious. I think we have to make it contagious.
Bona tarda, senyor Magna. En principi jo volia no només felicitar-lo per la seva exposició, que seria obvi, sinó que voldria felicitar-lo pel treball que vostès estan fent recuperant uns valors o volem posar uns valors essencials del país i lluitant pel país. Quan escoltava, jo no sabia si escoltava un empresari que fa política o un polític que fa empresa. I he acabat amb aquesta conclusió. Vostè és un polític que fa empresa. Per tant, felicitar-lo també per aquest sentit de país que vostès tenen. I la meva pregunta, després d'aquesta dissertació, que disculpi, és: vostè creu que és possible arribar a nivells com els que vostès estan obtenint a partir de polítics que no saben realment el que és l'empresa, a partir de polítics que no tenen les preparacions adequades? I no parlo del nostre cas, sinó que el que voldria és que vostè ens respongui com es trien els polítics a Escòcia, com ho fan per obtenir càrrecs, com ho fan per arribar a ser ministre, primer ministre o càrrecs. Gràcies.
I think the answer is actually quite a humble answer. It's the same answer that I think you would have got in America in 1776. Ordinary people who normally would have nothing to do with politics, all of a sudden wake up to say, I've had enough, we have to do something, we have to be involved. And people who have come from living real lives with real balanced experience, and I know that will happen here. You will see people coming forward and balancing the portfolio. You don't want only business people in the parliament, you want a mix, like you do the ecology, you want diversity. And I do think that will happen, but it's a big advantage in many ways. I always like the Czech phrase, the repressor is his own assassin. But whether there is repression in a country held back, all of a sudden when the pressure is taken off, the spring bounds forward. There is huge opportunity for us to move forward in terms of channeling talent, taking up opportunities. And in many ways, in the Scottish economy, the fact that we've lost so many businesses out of Scotland means that we're really focused now on financial services, oil and gas, renewables, life sciences, food, transport. And I always love Tom Peters, he says, niche or be niched. We are niched and focused. And I think what we're also doing now is essentially persuading more business people that perhaps rather than spending long times with the CDI or Institute of Directors or the Scottish Council for Development Industry or the Federation of Small Businesses, that they should come into politics. And even just for an honourable short service like I did, 8 years. 8 years and then next, fresh minds.
Okay, I think that you are really an expert on these matters, and I would like you to give advice to us who are not convinced about the advantages of being independent, and especially concerning what to do with the political system. I mean, we lack leaders, that has been convinced, and I think that this is a real drawback in our country. So, what would you recommend? How to get them to unite, work together, and to work for a real progress for the country?
I think that the answer is trigger more collaborative conversation. Have that national conversation, get people in the room, get the interesting topics going forward, like a topic like what could Catalonia be like in 2020 with independence. Start to get that positive, aspirational conversation going. And as the politicians, I think the politicians will warm to that. And I think I've just given any politician in the room a very interesting presentation that says, hey, this is a pretty good formula. If you actually want to be in power, if you want to be a minister, if you want to make a lasting difference, if you want to leave a real legacy, then this is a good formula. And we should be in politics to leave real and positive legacies. And that, I think, is the formula that we have. But we have to talk to each other and listen.
Perdó. Sí. Jo la meva pregunta, si no entenc malament, és que l'any 2014-2015 vostès tenen previst celebrar un referèndum, almenys aquesta seria la finalitat. Ara que estem en plena crisi econòmica, vostès han pensat si vostès tindrien moneda pròpia, si seguirien amb la lliure esterlina o malauradament acabarien a l'euro? O sigui, com contemplen aquest tema? I la segona, que ve per aquí, és ja que anirien aquí, depèn de la resposta, contemplen que segur que França i Espanya serien un problema per vostès per mantindre's a la comunitat econòmica europea? No sé el cas d'Anglaterra, però França i Espanya segur.
Yeah, well, let's start with the issue of, yes, we are going to have a referendum towards the end of this Parliament, and at that point in time we will make whatever pragmatic decision on currency is best for Scotland. I go back to that position of being open-minded about what is best. I suspect that might be continuing with sterling, albeit that has got some disadvantages, but we would compensate that with having our own tax powers, etc. That would at least be give us a migration to a new phase, a new era. And I would hope by that time we'll see stability in the Eurozone, because we are a very pro-European party. And that takes us to the issue of EU membership. We see ourselves as a successor state. Would somebody block England coming back into the EU? That we would be a successor state. And I think if France, because of separatist issues in their country, or Spain with Catalonian issues on their minds would block us, that would create a very interesting debate. It might create a second Norway. Norway's not going to do that. We have lots of options, but we're not going to be intimidated by that. We expect to be in as a successor state. I think for Europe, talking to the world, talking to North America, South America, Asia, the Middle East, excluding Scotland because of somebody's concern about Corsica or Catalonia would be crazy, and I expect that it would create a very interesting debate. So bring it on. Scotland's going forward.
For several reasons, I've been in contact with Scotland lately, Glasgow. I must say, all the people I've known there, virtually 90% are pretty much in favour of independence. And the curious thing is that about half of them are really English, not Scottish. And one of the things they do point out is that an independent Scotland would be good for the English economy because it would become a competitor within the island with which to not only compete but also trade and collaborate, so that would benefit both. It's like a win-win situation. I wonder how much of that vote is thanks to your work and your colleagues at the Assembly.
I would certainly hope it was partly our work, but I tell you, the English component in the Scottish make-up are really valued players. I mean, we have an important phenomenon in Scotland is we have a disproportionate number of universities. It attracts a lot of young English students, many of whom choose to stay on in Scotland. And many talented English people choose to come to Scotland on a work balance, quality of life argument, access to pristine countryside, ability to buy a better home or whatever reason, etc. But they are a terrific asset in Scotland. And what is wonderful is when they come to Scotland, they get it. They understand the unlevel playing field. They understand the case that's there to be made. We've got English members in my party in the Parliament, and they have enriched the debate. And I think, to be honest, the wonderful people of England essentially already think that Scotland's gone. It's independent. It's just the politicos that don't understand that. And I think the big proposition that we always put to England, which came from the words of a colleague of mine, Winifred Ewing, she said, when Scotland becomes independent, England will lose a surly lodger and get a good neighbour, and that's entirely our intention. And that's it. We've no plans to move the tectonic plates. We're leaving it in situ. We may even remove a few stones from Hadrian's Wall.
Thanks. Will you just allow a second question? I want to in the light of what's happening today in Catalonia, as much as you know, as far as you know, you've probably heard about the process of informal civic organisation this year. I'd like to know what your opinion of this process is and how you would place it within what you represent.
I think it's one of the assets that we will take back from Catalonia and add to our register, things that we should do. I watched it on YouTube tonight, per send me a link to YouTube, and I saw it happening, and I think that situation where people are being asked and are thinking it through and articulating and talking to their friends increases the possibility and enriches what that might mean. And I was born in 1947. In 1947, India and Pakistan became independent. And one of the Pakistani members of the Scottish Parliament, Bashir Ahmed, told me something very interesting. He said, back in 47, independence was the talk at the breakfast table. It was the talk on the way to work. It was the talk at work, at lunchtime, on the squash court, at the dinner table. That was the topic of conversation. What a great topic of conversation, especially if that is linked to how we become more cohesive, how we become more effective, how we create a more competitive brand, and how we take something as small as 5 million Scots or 7 million Catalans and radiate them out and connect with that world out there that is hungry for our intellect, our added value, our products, our services. Great future, so we've got to keep talking, and we will take that lesson back. And I watched the excitement, and I was unimpressed by some people in the video who were shouting different things, but I thought the people were terrific.